Good evening, friends. This is time for 16th of uh, February 2021 market wrap. And first of all, let me start by thanking all our platinum members. We've hit, you know, 500 members in less than 3 months. We started on 26th of December, and I don't think it's 26th of February yet. So this has been a massive response. It's extremely overwhelming. There has been great feedback which we've received. Every day is a new challenge, and we are taking that up. So first of all, I'd request you to like, share, subscribe this video. And for people who still not joined, the platinum button should consider it. There is platinum, diamond, silver, gold, and copper. And the best trading advice is available at a very nominal cost. So for any questions, WhatsApp 98710663337, and also you could email ashwani_gujral@yahoo.com. So in these videos from today onwards, I'll be adding some option chain analysis also. And I think option chain analysis through the day as well as end of day adds a lot of value. So that is analysis which is now available to platinum members. So that's an extra value add that we are going to put even here for all our YouTube subscribers. So let's start from the S&P 500. Now, something has begun to change on the S&P 500. In the morning, you must have heard media talk about, the 10-year bond yield rising. Now, 10-year bond yield often rises when inflation concerns pick up. The way, crude prices have gone up, the way, metal prices have gone up, I think there is pressure on interest rates globally. While that may not be a sustainable inflation concern because there is still huge unemployment and there is a slack in the labor markets. It's not still a go-go economy, but that in some ways changes certain parameters of liquidity, and the initial impact you have is on the DXY. So like we can see, gold is coming off, risk assets are coming off. This is the daily chart of the dollar index. As you can see here, it's making some kind of a W, and it could get back towards its 200 at the very max. Dollar will keep on weakening, but there will come points in time when risk off will create market corrections. So that is a kind of market correction we are anticipating. So for the moment, let's see what we did on the Nifty today. The Nifty, like I mentioned, found support at about yesterday's low. In fact, Bank Nifty did that exactly. So the Bank Nifty exactly touched the early morning, yesterday's lows, and from there had a pretty decent bounce. And finally, we could not cross 15,300 or 37,300, and Bank Nifty collapsed back. This collapse back is something I didn't like, and this indicates that there could be a further downside. And that further downside it is possible that you can get to the 20-day moving averages of both these indices. If the dollar index and things start to get worse in terms of a global correction, 20 DMA on Bank Nifty right now is 34,200. Obviously, it's very, very overextended, and just a little push will make it collapse into that zone. Nifty is a bit more, uh, you know, not overextended, so hence the Nifty has support around 14,750. We'll have to see if we start to get follow through, then these levels are possible. We had great individual trades today. So what we did was SBI, we bought early in the morning around I think 407 thereabouts, and I think somewhere at about 10 o'clock, so 407 it was bought, and it hit our targets of about 416 during the day. SBI, all kinds of PSU banks opened very strongly and then showed very strong follow through. So SBI was one, uh, Reliance, again, Reliance, we bought around this zone, which is about 2065, and during the day it hit 2090 thereabouts, and again closer to the high point of the day we took profits here. Today we also closed our swing positions because I expect more downside to happen. So basically now we only have our portfolios in place. For tomorrow and days ahead, we have carried 36,500 Feb month end puts, and let's see how they perform. In terms of BTST, we have taken home IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank started very strongly on the downside, and my sense is tomorrow we should be getting some more downside follow through. And HDFC had a very weak close because apparently today private banks and private financials, uh, private, the IT space were sold by the foreigners, and that is what put pressure in the market. So that way, I think, given the way US is trading right now, given dollar index, etc., there should be more downside tomorrow. Now let's have a quick look at the option chain. As you can see here, 15,300 today, 31,000 calls were written. 15,200, 18,000 calls were written. 15,400, 11,000 calls were written. And 15,500, 89, 56 calls were written. So the call writers are coming lower and lower and putting pressure on the market. Whereas if you see on the put side, there's hardly any put writing. So, this shows that there is a lack of put writers at lower levels. Today, I think 15,100, the put writers covered. Then again at 15,000, about 5,000 contracts were written. 14,900, 690 contracts were written. 14,800, put writers again covered. So, put writers are covering at lower levels because maybe, people are expecting, some more downside. 15,100, put writers have covered. 15,000, the put writing is hardly anything. So, the sense you get from this sort of options data is that the markets are likely to be under pressure. let's have a look at the Bank Nifty options chain. Here, 11,000 contracts were written in on the call side at 37,000, 37,500. I think 2,500 contracts were written. People are writing in the money calls also on Bank Nifty at 36,900. In terms of put writing, again you can see hardly any put writing till 36,500 where there are 10,000 contracts. So in terms of cumulative open interest on the call side, 37,000 has 41,000 calls written, 37,500 again 40,000. On the put side, there are no 40,000 numbers before 36,000. So the overall sense from this kind of data is that there is very little put writing and the call writers are getting all aggressive. So that way, more downside could be anticipated. In terms of pivots, I think Nifty uh, pivot now is about 15,230. So I think all upside will get resisted here. Similarly, Bank Nifty pivot is about 37,000. Again, all upside should be restricted here. And on the downside, 36,400. And on the Nifty, I think 15,080 could be zones which could be tested over the next couple of days. That should be it for this wrap. Thanks again for all the platinum memberships, and we'll see you tomorrow with another update. Take care and good night.